Good morning, everyone. As we eagerly awaited this insight and journey, let's extend a warm welcome to Gaurish Baliga. Gaurish sir, we are thrilled to have you with us today at CodeChef WCE chapter. Please join me in giving a big round of applause to our distinguished guest. So, Srushti, you can continue.
Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffee with Chef. I'm Dhanashri
And I am Srushti.
and we are bringing up something special with this episode 4 of our series and we are thrilled to have a remarkable guest with us today and please join me in extending a warm welcome to our guest Gaurish Baliga sir.
So, talking about him, he is a final year BTech student in Computer Science and Engineering at KJ Somaiya College of Engineering. Alongside his studies, he is excelling as a software engineering intern at Google. He is a competitive programming powerhouse with a 6-star on CodeChef and master on Codeforces. Additionally, he is an ICPC Asia West Continentalist and an educator at TLE Eliminators. So today we will dive into his experiences, tips for excelling in CP, and his journey in the tech world. So get ready for an inspiring conversation with Gaurish sir.
So now I will request Gaurish sir to share his journey from the first year of engineering to the intern at Google.
Yeah, so hello guys. I don't remember the last time someone called me a powerhouse, but nice. So basically, talking about my journey, I haven't really spoken about it much. It's all about teaching. So it's interesting to share about my journey. So it so people must assume I'm a really smart person and I study all day. That wasn't always the case, right? So in 11, 12, there was this game, if you are aware, which was very famous. It's called PUBG Mobile, and I was like, I want to become a gamer. So I didn't study for G, and the thing is, I wanted to become a gamer, right? So I used to play 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, not go to college. I used to do all of that thing. I was in a mess. And one day in 12th, like 3 months before JE or something like that, I realized that okay, I need to do something in life. I can't really be doing this, and I started studying from then. And after that, I didn't touch the game because I realized that okay, this is very hard to get in, and it's also not worth a while. Like millions of people want to do it, the probability of getting good is very low. So then I realized that okay, need to do something in life. Did J didn't do that well. Got like 88, 90 percentile. Got into Somaya. I didn't aim higher because I knew I couldn't get better. And Somaya is next to my house, so it's also very good for me because being a day scholar, you have a lot of advantages. So I got into Somaya. I had like a month before college started. So I was like, what can I do? So then I opened my 11, 12 syllabus and I saw that okay, C++ was taught. I didn't know because I was playing PUBG. Okay, so I saw C++ and I'm like, okay, my teacher taught really well. I just didn't attend. So let's give it a chance. So I did some course. There's Tim Buchalka's course on Udemy on C++. I went through that. I learned C++. Then one of my seniors said to HackerRank. So I learned C++. I started doing HackerRank. I got decent in problem solving. Okay, the problem solving section in HackerRank. I got to like 5-star on HackerRank. And then like any other person, I'm like, okay, I'm 5-star on HackerRank, so I can get 5-star on CodeChef. And then everyone realized that okay, that's not the case, right? Then after getting to like 5-star on HackerRank, I was like, okay, now I can give maybe CodeChef contest. And my senior was like, no, it doesn't happen like this. But I was like, I'll still give contest, and I'll eventually. I was like, okay, I'll get to 5-star. So I gave contests, and because I had solved like 200 problems on HackerRank already, I got to like 3-star on CodeChef, and then I couldn't grow. Like if you see my rating graph, it was like I got to 3-star, then it was like 6, 7 contests, the same rating going down, going up. I was like, what to do? And the thing was, I was actively involved in communities. That is the thing that I've been doing throughout my college life. So there was this community called Dev's Nest, and there one of the seniors, now I know him, he told me you should practice on Codeforces and not CodeChef. And then I started practicing on Codeforces because Codeforces is the toughest platform. Like Codeforces, CodeChef, and then Lead Code. It's like this. So I started practicing on Codeforces. I was like, wow, this is tough. And then I practiced a lot. I practiced till 1400, 1500 rating. I got to like specialist on Codeforces. I also joined TLE Eliminators as a student that time. So I got to specialist on Codeforces, and after becoming specialist on Codeforces, I used to give once a month contest on CodeChef, and the rating improvement was just amazing. I used to get plus 150, plus 150, plus 150, and in three contests I became 5 star from 3 star. So that was very interesting. Even if you look at my rating graphic, you can see that, and I was like, wow. And people ask me, what do I do? So the only thing I used to do is practice on Codeforces. So this was my first year of college. First year of college, I got to like expert and 5 star, and all these people I used to look up to. That time there was Priyansh Agarwal, there was something known as Codemaster CPP, and there were a lot of people. There was Kshitij Jaiswal, I think his full name is. So all these were candidate masters. So my goal was always I'll get to candidate master and then maybe my life is sorted. I didn't know, okay, because I only knew that people were like, if you do competitive programming, it's always good. You don't need to worry about anything else. Like I did it as a hobby, but I also knew that if I do this throughout, it wouldn't harm my career. It will help it. So okay, I got to 5 star. Then in my second year, that is third and fourth sem, I still grinded a lot. I eventually got to candidate master, and I think I got to 6 star. I'm not sure. I think I got to 6 star during my second year, and because I got to candidate master so fast, I was like, this was my end goal. What should I do now? And I was lost because I should be happy, because I was happy for a day, but then I was just lost because I love doing competitive programming, but my end goal was candidate master. So what do I do? So then I was like, okay, I don't have the motivation to do competitive programming anymore because my main goal is achieved. And people used to tell me that it's getting to master, getting above candidate master. It it won't benefit you as such. But later I realized I don't do it for the benefit. I do it for the love of problem solving. But getting to that later, right? Then I was like, what should I do? So my friends, they are really good developers. They're into web development. So I was like, okay, 1 year, let's try web development. Let's get into communities. Let's help people get better at competitive programming. I became an educator at TLE Eliminators. I organized some events. For example, Code and Code was there recently, which was the largest student body held competitive programming contest in India, right? And I also did hackathons, and my friends were good. They were like, you should do all of these things. And one of the things is, if you're really good at problem solving, like competitive programming or anything, right, you can grasp other things very easily. So learning dev, I didn't have much problem. Like I could read the documentation and then I could just understand, okay, I need to do all of these things. And I I understood dev. I so we won a couple of hackathons. There was this hackathon called Kavach, which is like a sister hackathon to SIH India. We won that. In that, we did fraud detection through graph-based algorithms. After that, there was another hackathon, which was a which was a generative AI hackathon in which we built an expense tracker using generative AI, which we later launched into a product. So that was interesting. And okay, all of these things are done. So it is September of 2023. I had applied to Google India because everyone wants a summer internship, right? And they shortlisted me. So the thing is, you two things you need. You need a good profile and you need a referral. One of my seniors, okay, he was candidate master on Codeforces. He got to candidate master after leaving college, and he joined Google Warsaw. His name is Navneet Hingarkar. He gave me a referral, and I got to the interviews and I cleared my interviews, okay, because if you have done competitive programming or data success and algorithms for such a long time, it interviews shouldn't be so hard. Now since I did these interviews, I solved whatever you're expected to solve 2 3 problems. I got done with that, and then 1 month later, I got a call from the recruiter, and this is exactly what she told me. She told me, "Hey Gaurish, you have done good in your interview." So I got excited that hey, I'm getting into Google. But then she's like, "Unfortunately, these slots are over. We can't take you in this time." And I was heartbroken because I was like, I did what was expected. Any other candidate who would have done this would have gotten. I'm just unlucky because these slots are over. And I was like, what should I do? I talked to a lot of friends and I was lost because I didn't have an internship. So luckily on campus, Barclays came at that point, and I sat for that and I got into Barclays. So I was happy. Then in February 2022, another thing happens. I don't know how it panned out, but Google opened more slots. I think they laid off somewhere. So they opened more slots for interns. And that is the time I pinged my recruiter that, hey, I got through my interviews. Please process my package. So she did that, and I got into Google India. And after getting my internship, I was very chill. I was like, okay, I have got the intern that everyone dreams of, right? And now I can do things for fun. And what did I do for fun? I did competitive programming. So since I was candidate master, I was like, I want to get to master. And since I was just giving contests for fun, I realized that is the best way to grow. Many people like candidate master to master is considered very hard actually, but since I was doing it for fun, there was no pressure while giving the contest. Like usually while people give contest, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of anxiety. I was just giving it for fun. I like problem bana to bana, bana nahi bana. So in like 5 6 contests, I got to master, and it was pretty interesting. And now my internship is still going on. It will be till August 15, and hopefully we'll get a full time role. So that was more or less my journey summed up in like 10 minutes.
So, moving forward, I would like to ask how competitive programming helped you in getting the internship at Google.
Yeah, it does help. I'll give you a stat. Okay, like uh, usually people say that you shouldn't tell people that you should do competitive programming to get a job and all of that, which is true. If you are doing competitive programming to get a job, there are much easier ways to get a job than doing competitive programming. But if you are a good competitive programmer, okay, not rating wise, but actually a good competitive programmer, it shows that you have really amazing problem solving skills. And I'll give you a statistic. I know there are around 10, 15 people who are greater than equal to candidate master on Codeforces in my batch 2025, not in my college, in my batch. Okay. There might be more. I know around 10, 25. Majority of them are in Google. So if you get to candidate master and all of that, then it gets easier to get a job. One, because okay, you're showcasing your profile that you're candidate master. Second, interviews become a piece of cake because when you're candidate master, you are solving the D problem, and D problem is something which only 500 people out of the 20,000 people giving the contest solve. Okay, 500 or something like that. So when you're giving the interview, they usually ask problems which like some people should solve, right? Like if they are interviewing hundreds of people, let's say they want to hire 50 people, so they ask questions that 50 people should be solved. If you're a good competitive programmer, you can always be sure that you are in that 50% because it's not that hard. It's like 17 1800 rating problems on Codeforces, and since candidate master is like 1900, it's very simple. Like I did not practice problems as much like lead code and all of that before my interview. The only thing I did for my preparation is give mock interviews because that is very important. Giving interviews is a separate skill, but in terms of problem solving, I didn't do anything special because I knew that okay, it's not going to be anything different. I just looked up a book to see what topics are there and looked at. I just read a book and I was like, okay, this seems fine. I should be able to do it. Okay, 2 3 mocks, and yeah, I think it has helped a lot. But there are other ways as well.
Okay, thank you.
So we have received some great questions from the audience ahead of time, and we are very excited to hear the answers to these questions. So let's dive into these pre-collected questions now. So first of all, the first question is, I don't feel motivated enough to do competitive programming because I am stuck at same rating and feel demotivated because of cheating going all around. So what would you suggest?
Okay, so yeah, cheating has become a very big issue currently, and I do understand that where the person is coming from. Like, if you are at like newbie or pupil, it gets really hard to break through to expert or something, because majority of cheaters, when they copy the problem solution, they are around specialist and around that rating range. So the thing is that you're doing like, I can understand that it's like, why should I do competitive programming, and there's a lot of cheating going on. But if you enjoy doing competitive programming, do it regardless. The things you can unlock doing competitive programming, it's just worth the effort. And apart from that, you don't do competitive, like, rating is a thing, okay, it does matter, but apart from that, when you learn new concepts, you're not doing competitive programming only for rating, right? You're doing it to improve your problem solving skills. And at the end of the day, when you see your problem solving skills grow, you can sense that, like, okay, there is cheating going on in Codeforces, there's cheating going on in CodeChef, okay. But when you're practicing problems on your own, let's say there is Podge, there is Codeforces problem set, you see yourself solving these high rated problems like 1500, 1400. You feel that confidence within yourself. And this cheating thing, it will be taken care of. It's very temporary, because suddenly cheating has started. There's a pattern to all of these things. So there is a way to filter all of these things out, and it will be done. Okay, so just hold tight and keep doing competitive programming, and keep this in your mind. Okay, like, use this as your motivation. Cheaters have a limited skill. Like, at most they are, what, say, expert on Codeforces. Okay, you can't get to candidate master and above use doing that telegram kind of cheating. So just aim to be better than the cheater, and then you'll see a lot of growth. Like, cheaters at most solve div to C, maybe on a lucky day div to D. But if you are better than them, you have a skill better than them, you will never be affected. Like, you'll never see them above you. So just aim for that. Hold on tight. I know it's not that easy. I can just say that, just hold on tight and do all of this. It's not easy when your rating is constantly stagnant. Just practice more and believe in yourself, and I think it should be fine. Like, after a point, you will see that boom in rating, and when you see, you'll be like, okay, it was all worth it.
Okay, sir, thank you very much.
So the next question is, I'm currently solving problems, but after a week, if someone asks me about a problem I solved, I can't explain it to them. So can you share some advice on how to improve this?
So is this like explanation skills, or is this that you don't remember how you solved the problem? If
Yeah, we can tell in both ways.
Okay, so explanation skills, I think you should focus on doing more community work and all of that. Like, how is, like, most competitive programmers don't have a good communication skill, because majority of us are introverts. We solve problems on Codeforces, CodeChef all day, so we don't talk to people. But how is my communication? Great. One, in first year, people used to struggle in C, Python, and all of that. So I was like, okay, I'll teach you guys, and I used to teach programming to them. So my communication improved in my first year like that, and in my second year, I joined TLE as a educator, right? So unless you're good in communication, you can't really be a good educator. So that is something that I worked on in my second year. So that is an important skill. I would say, like, if your technical skills are, like, if you wanted to give a ratio, 70% to 30%. Like, like, if you're going for a job, even if your technical skills are 60% but your communication is 30 on 30, you'll still get the job because you're able to convey to the interviewer what you're thinking. And in an organization, that is more important, communicating with people and letting them know things. So that is one of the things you should work on. If it's the second case, if you're not able to remember, I'd suggest you try to understand the concept in depth, because when you truly understand something, then you'll never forget it. Like, do you ever forget your mother tongue? No, because it's just inbuilt, right? Do you forget what is 1 plus 1? Because it is very obvious. So just practice to a point till it becomes very obvious to you. So you're like, okay, I can just apply dynamic programming to it, or I can just do this algorithm, and so on and so forth. So just practice a lot if you're forgetting. And one of the things why you're forgetting is you're looking at the solution or the editorial. You're not solving it by yourself, because when you solve it by yourself without any hints, there is a chance that it will stay with you as compared to editorials. So I used to do this. I don't look at editorials most of the times. Like, you'll see, if you look at my submissions, there are problems which I haven't solved for months, and then one day I just wake up, I'll be like, oh, I can solve this problem like this, and just solve it. So this is one of the tips. If you, it might work for you, it might not. I just don't look at editorials after the contest, yes, but while practicing, I do that.
Okay, got it. Let's moving forward to the next question. So I can solve only few questions in the contest. Either they require some topics I haven't studied yet, which is fine, or I just can't figure out the right approach and end up wasting a lot of time in a wrong and lengthy approaches.
Okay. Yeah. So for this, one, you'll need to improve your implementation. I didn't share this, but when I got to expert on Codeforces, my implementation was really bad. It was like very, very bad. You can look at my solutions before. You can look at my solutions before mid 2022. It's just unreadable. And I was like, I really want to grow. So during that time, I gave up my template. If you know Jiang Li, he's like legendary grandmaster on Codeforces #2. You look at his solutions, they don't use, he doesn't use a template. It's just normal code. So I gave up my template and I started writing clean code, because I was like, I don't want to become a good competitive programmer by solving fast. I want to become a good competitive programmer by solving more problems. So that is really what helped. So if you are lacking implementation, I'll suggest that don't use a template. Practice more problems. You can go to HackerRank. HackerRank has a variety of problems solved without a template. If right, try to understand how things work. So, and look at Jiang Li solutions, or you can look at my solutions. One of the things that I'm proud of, I'm not one of the smartest competitive programmers in India, but I write one of the cleanest codes that are there. So you can also refer to my solutions, right? And apart from that, what was the other first part of the question? Like, you're not able to implement, and
Yes, so the first part of the question was that if there is some question, then either they are solved by implementing the concepts which I
okay,
have already studied, and sometimes the concepts are not yet known to me.
yeah. So okay, so when um, there is a problem in which there is a topic which you have solved already, and you are unable to solve it, it means that you need more practice on that topic. That topic wasn't crystal clear to you. There are some aspects that you still don't understand. That is majoritarily why you didn't solve this problem, like some observation didn't click and all of that. So practice more on those topics. And when you don't know a topic, you learn that topic. So there is this really interesting book called Competitive Programmers Handbook. Okay, it's available on free, and there is a problem set made on that book. It's called cses.fi. So you can just use these resources. The Competitive Programmers Handbook is a good handbook to give you a gist of all topics you need to learn. So you can learn topics from using that handbook. There's also a book called Competitive Programming 3 and Competitive Programming 4. They are not available for free, but I think everyone has their ways. So you can use Competitive Programming 3. I think that's the name of the book. It's by Stephen Halim and Felix Halim. They are ICPC World finalists. It's a very extensive book. It's a good book if you want to invest in a book. That is That is a good book to learn. You will go through all the topics. For more resources like text based, there's cp-algorithms.com, there's proguar.fun. And if you want a course as such, you can look at TLE Eliminators. He teach more or less all the topics to get you to candidate master. uh, for free, you can look at, there is love luv, not love babbar or whatever, it's just luv. He has an entire playlist on competitive programming that is very good. That is something I referred to in my starting days. And there is this guy called Pashka. He's IGM on Codeforces. He has a data structure and algorithm course which is free on YouTube, which is like 60 hours. He teaches really advanced stuff. You can get to grandmaster using that. You just need the patience to see. So all these resources are there. You can refer to learn. And yeah, I think that should answer your question.
Okay. So now the question is, I have done easy level problems on lead code, but medium level problems I have faced the TLE. So any solution for this?
Okay. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is, why medium level problems you're not able to solve is because you lack problem solving skills, right? You aren't able to come up with solutions on your own. This happened with me as well when I started out. So if you want to get better at lead code problems, either you can keep solving them and eventually you'll get better, or you can improve your problem solving. Like let's say you're in your second year of college, or let's say you're in your third year of college, you still have a lot of time to still do competitive programming. So just open codeforces.com/problem set, start with 800 rating, solve these problems, then go to 900 rating, 1000 rating. Because competitive programming doesn't make you good at data structures and algorithms, it makes you good at problem solving in general. Like lead code will make you good at DSA, but it's not necessarily it makes you a good problem solver. But Codeforces will, and that is why people who are good in Codeforces are excellent at lead code. So I'll suggest go to codeforces.com, practice some problems. You'll see where you are weak at, and then you can work upon it. Because every problem is a tag.
So moving forward, which is the question faced by all the students, situation faced by all the students, which is how to balance the academics and maintain the CGPA along with DSA and development.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the thing is, I'm not the kind of person who you should expect an answer from this, because during my college I didn't have fun. There used to be fests, there used to be a lot of things. I just didn't go during to these things. Like I don't even have Instagram, I don't even have Facebook and all of those things. I'm a very boring person. So I I just found a lot of time free so I could balance both. Like I used to go to college and attend a few lectures. In my second year, I didn't attend a lot of lectures, and third, I didn't attend even more. But the thing is, if you really want to strike a balance, you can. Like if you are a person who lives in hostel, then it's even better. You can attend colleges, and I think college is till like 6 p.m. But then 6 to 10 is free, right? So what is stopping you to from working in 6 to 10 p.m.? But again, I genuinely believe that what I did is just too much. People should have a life. But if you want a general advice on how to balance all of this, I'd probably say that get a schedule. Like I don't think in engineering, if you study for more than 2 weeks before the exam, you should be able to score decent enough. Like practicals, okay, it's a different thing. But for theory subjects, I think if you study like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the exam, or 1 week, 1 month before the exam, that should be fine. So in the rest of your college life, like in the starting to, let's say, a month or 15 days before the exam, you can devote a lot of time to what interests you. Either it's programming, open source, or in my case competitive programming. You can do all of that. And if it really drives you, then you can be this crazy person like me. You can just can be like, okay, I don't want to go to this fest, I will do programming. I don't want to go to movies with my friends, I'll do programming. It's very bad. Yeah, you'll not end up having a lot of friends, but if you really want to do it, you'll be fine.
Okay, so moving forward, the question is I struggle to make progress and find it hard to tackle complex logic and analyze constraints effectively. So, although I am a competent in other areas of computer science, CP is as seen as a benchmark of intelligence, which is discouraging. So, I am seeking specific tips to improve the CPing beyond just practice. So, any advice would be greatly appreciated.
Improve mathematics. That is one of the key advices. If you look at historic data, if you see people who are good at math, they never really struggled in competitive programming that much. They had their, of course, they had their grind, but they got to ratings much easier. Like if you see someone who's really good at mathematics, not mugging up formulas, actual discrete mathematics, can come up with formulas, can see things mathematically, can prove things, and you look at the competitive programming journey, they just breeze through the competition. And I think that is one of the reasons why people at IIT, triple IIT, they are extremely good at competitive programming, because not because they're exceptionally smart or something, they're just good at mathematics and problem solving. So if you're struggling at competitive programming, I'll suggest you can do mathematical puzzles in your free time. There is this good website called AOPS, the Art of Problem Solving, which has really good mathematical blogs. So you can read them. I personally also read a book to improve my competitive programming skills, a math book. It's called Concrete Mathematics by Nath, the same person who got the KMP algorithm. He made a math book, because math is really important in computer science. If you're because computer science is based on math, right? These graphs, trees, these are not computer science knowledge. It's mathematical models devised to solve problems. So you can spend some time during math, not during your initial days. If you're struggling at implementing and coming up with normal solutions, I'll say practice more. But if you're like stuck, you can't think mathematically, spend some time with mathematics, and I think you should be fine.
Okay, so this was all about the pre-collected doubts. Now we will address the live doubts from the audience. So if anybody is having any doubt, please raise your hands and feel free to ask. Okay, so Shivam Kumar, you can ask your doubt.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hello. Yeah.
Sir, my problem is that I was solving a question on code process from a
You're
month.
not audible. It's your voice is muffled.
Sir, I'm asking that I have solved many problems on code process
Okay.
within a month. I am not able to increase my rating from 1000. I am feeling difficulty in second problem of division 2. So what I will do?
Could you send your username in the chat? Let me have a look. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Send me your. By the way, Aditya asks like, what should be preferred first, learning and then solving, or random? Random is always better during the start, because you don't even know topics that you should learn. So in the start, you do random solving, and after a point, let's say you get to specialist, then you start to know topics that are there, like dynamic programming, range queries, and you start to realize what you're weak at. Then you can focus on doing topic wise. But initially, I'll say do random solving, because 50% of your skill is identifying how the problem goes, right?
Sir, I will tell this.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so first thing I can see is you solved only 50 problems. So solve more problems, and for the past 2 weeks you've not really solved anything. Um, like most likely you give contests, and that is where majority of the problems are coming from, right?
Yes.
Yes. So practice is really important. Without practice, you can't really grow in competitive programming. Think of competitive programming as a sport, and it's just like hitting the gym, right? Uh, everyone wants to get to six pack. It's like 6 star, but you can't do that unless you are highly dedicated enough to go to the gym every single day. What like there are bodybuilding competitions, and you can relate that to Codeforces contests. But unless you go to the gym every day and train, you can't expect to get better. Similarly, you need to practice every day, and that is why like Codeforces practice is called Codeforces gym. If you go to Codeforces, there's a section called gym where there is practice contests. So you need to practice more. You need to realize that it's very hard to grow unless you practice a lot, and keep practicing. I'm sure you'll get better. Like the only reason you're stuck right now is there's
Sir,
improvement to grow in practice.
sir, how many questions need to practice in one day, sir? That's the question, sir. Because I am not
As
able
many
to
as you can.
minimum, sir.
It's up to you. It's how much you are dedicated. uh Honestly, like if you are like if you want to do two problems a day and still grow, you can do that. Like it's very different for different people. I'll say try to get at least three problems a day, but it shouldn't stop you. Like if you have done three, aim for five. If you have done five, aim for seven. Just like think of it like this: when you're working hard than everyone else, your rating will also be better than everyone else, right? It's very simple.
Okay, thank
Yes. Just give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, okay. I'm back.
Gaurish sir is not someone who comes every day, so it is a wonderful opportunity to ask your doubts and get clear.
Wow. Okay. Sharan asks something. He asked, I'm newbie at Codeforces and solved several problems. What topic should I focus on? Mm, okay, so I'd not say focus on proving your approach right now, because as a newbie, that is not what you should focus on. You can do that after getting to specialist, proving your solutions and all of that. Right now, what you can focus is on implementation, brute force, and learning greedy. These three things. You can go to CSCS handbook, basically the competitive programmers handbook. The first 50 or 60 pages are dedicated to that, so you can learn how to iterate through subsets, how to iterate to subsequences, how to iterate to subarrays in O of n square, how to check if a number is prime or not, what is sieve of Eratosthenes. I think all of these things should help you to get to pupil and ahead. And greedy, mainly greedy binary search, learn all of these things and practice more. If you're struggling on 1000, it means that you need to go back to hacker rank, solve more problems and build your base strong. Because think about it, on the long term, you're not here to become 5 star in 1 month. There's no fun in that. Also, it's always fun when it's harder. So think of it as a 6 month journey. Now if you want to become really good at the end of 6 months, you need a really strong base. So focus on getting these concepts clear. Don't be like, acha thoda bahut aata hai, I'll do this. Get it clear. Don't like not spend a lot of time on it, but make sure that whatever you're trying to understand, you're actually understanding it. It's not, you're not putting half of your effort there. You're genuinely trying to learn, and I think you should be fine.
So I just had, yeah.
Yes.
So like I just had one doubt. Like you said, you're candidate master for like a long time,
Yes.
and then like once you're like kind of feeling secure, safe, when you started competitive programming for like doing fun, that's when you became master. So can you like just explain like what are the like important topics, or what was the change that you felt in your approach when you were candidate master and when you're master, and what were the kind of resources, or what was your approach to tackling problems when you're candidate master that helped you go to like master?
Okay, so one thing is maths. Maths is very important. I really like it takes time for you to absorb things. Like although I was not doing competitive programming, I was actually teaching, so I learned all of these topics that I did not know. Okay, so combinatorics and dynamic programming. There are a lot of topics that you need to learn if you want to get to master, because div to E you don't really know what it can be. If you go to CSES, I think the later parts of the section uh, of every topic, like even in graphs, even in dynamic programming, the last few problems are actually what will help you get to master. So I know a lot of things that I've learned a lot of topics that a lot of people don't know. Like since I was preparing for ICPC, I was candidate master, but I was preparing for ICPC, so I learned a lot of topics that helped me get to master later. Like no, I think I was master. Anyways, I think I was master when I got to ICPC regionals. But yes, so the things are that I learned advanced dynamic programming. Like if you go to progvar.fun, progvar.fun, you'll see a list of topics that are there. In dynamic programming, also there are a lot of things. There is like segmentary optimization on dynamic programming. Then there is something known as a convex hull trick. Then there is known as SOSDP, which is sum over subsets dynamic programming. Okay, in trees there are a lot of advanced stuff like that. For getting to candidate master, okay, maybe you will need binary lifting, you'll need lowest common ancestor. I also learned like heavy light decomposition and centroid decomposition. And for like string algorithms, there is something known as, I don't know if many people in India are aware about it, but if you go to cp-algorithms.com, there is a really powerful data structure called suffix automaton. Like if you are in computer science, there is a topic called finite automata, right? So the thing is, finite automata can be used to solve string algorithms, because you can make a DFA over the string, and each path is a unique substring, and this can be done in big O of n, and this can be used to solve majority of the problems, because since a path is a substring, you can check if a substring exists just by traversing that discrete finite automata. It's like a trie, but then it's a directed acyclic graph. I'll not get into much of it, but that is something that I learned. And majorityly, I improved how I think. Like initially, I used to think very randomly, and there used to be a lot of stress involved with that as well. I used to give master perf, but in the last contests, I used to give like 2300 performance and all of that, so my rating just went up. But the thing is, there was no pressure. Like when there is pressure, you'll be like jaldi solve karna hai. I wasn't ki jaldi solve karna hai. I'm like, just I'm doing it for fun. I just want to enjoy problem solving, so I used to solve it. And that is when my problem solving abilities actually showed their result. Like I used to solve how I solve in practice, and I think that is the difference. Majority people don't solve in contests how they solve in practice, because there is stress and time limit and pressure to be better than your friend. But I just did what I used to do in practice, and that helped me get to master.
Also, could you please like tell what were the resources that you were referring to for learning these concepts at that time?
Yeah, cp-algorithms.com, CSES, competitive programmers handbook, USACO guide, competitive programming 4. I bought the books, competitive programming 4.1 per competitive programming 4.2. Then there is this interesting book. It's very advanced. Okay, so unless you're like expert, don't, like, you can, for ICPC it's a good book. It's called Sports Programming. Okay, you can just type Sports Programming PDF, and it should be there. It has really advanced topics like tree and all of that, like palindromic tree and all of that. You'll never find it anywhere. It's just for ICPC. And apart from that, yeah, I think, and Codeforces blogs, one of the most interesting things, one of the most insightful things that you'll ever learn is through Codeforces blogs. So I'll suggest you guys to go to Codeforces blogs catalog and read blogs by grandmasters. And I also saw a few lectures by Pashka, the one which I mentioned. There's a whole playlist on algorithms, so I learned a lot of advanced stuff through his lectures. There are like 2 2 hour lectures and it's completely free. Okay, I think that should answer the question. Let's see. How do okay, wow. Let's do some questions. What question? I started competitive programming from first year itself, and till now I am stuck on 3 star and pupil. Started solving CSES, have done some part in level 3. Let me see your code forces. You need to practice, and you need to practice consistently. As I said, take it as a gym. If you are not there every single day, how do you expect to get better? So I can see that there are a lot of breaks in your practice. So and you're not consistently giving contests. So change that. Like practice a lot. Like if just like if you go to my profile right now and okay, I'm not practicing or not because I'm in my intern, but you go to 2022. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So this was 2022 when I was in my first year, second sem and third sem. You can see that I more or less practiced every single day, and this is where my end semester was. So apart from my end semester, it's like weekly I'm practicing more or less every single day. So try to get that done. A major problem here is you've just started practicing, you've not found that momentum. So practice from there. And one more thing, that just a general advice for everyone: how to practice. Just go to you can either go to TLE sheet. It's a sheet that we made, but if you don't want to use that, go to, let's say, 800 rating. Okay, and let this load. Okay, why is this? Okay, yeah. Yeah, CodeChef is just, it doesn't have good quality problems. Like, let me see. You have given a lot of contests on CodeChef. I can see that, but I think it's time to shift to Codeforces. The quality is not that great on CodeChef. Like even for practice, major you should practice on Codeforces and not CodeChef. Like I think that is one of the major reasons, because CodeChef problems are usually just easy versions of Codeforces problems. Like, so just try to do that. Practice that. Okay. And yeah, so general advice, I was talking to 800 rating, solve 50 60 problems. Then same thing for 900,000, so on and so forth. And you will eventually realize that when the last rating that you have practiced on for problems, your rating will be around that much. So you can see that I've done for 1900 as well. I've done it for 2000 as well, right? So when you practice a lot of a particular rating, you get comfortable around it, and then your rating also fluctuates around that. So that was for you, others. And what are the next questions? How to figure out corner test cases? Practice. The more you practice, the more you realize about corner test cases, because more mistakes you make. So the more mistakes you make, the more it is in your mind what you can avoid. So I just say practice more. It's debugging comes from practice. Like you can't make a person good at debugging just like that. You have to build it. Okay. How do I deal with getting approaches right and not being able to put it out code correctly? Spend some time practicing. I think you should focus on implementation tag problems on Codeforces. Like some problems, they have the tag implementation, if I'm not wrong. Okay, let me see. It's ad hoc or implementation. It's one of those things. Yeah, implementation. There is a tag called implementation on Codeforces problem set. Just click on that, sort according to rating, and solve the first 50 60 problems. So that is what will help you get better, because a lot of people struggle at implementing their thoughts, like you said, and that is because they don't know techniques to do this, and they haven't coded enough. They haven't seen a lot of patterns to code this. Like from getting your thought that okay, I want to get this done. but then how do I do this in code? That is also a very important skill. So I'll say that, yeah, practice the implementation and ad hoc problems on Codeforces. There's also a sheet which I will share later. You can solve that as well. It's called the Asuit University sheet, and I think that's really good for practice. Rugved says practicing on multiple platforms is good. One platform, Codeforces. That's the thumb rule. No other platform will give you as good quality of problems or resources as codeforces.com. Just stick to Codeforces. If you want to do competitive programming, stick to Codeforces. Just want to do DSA, there's ample of resources everywhere on the internet.
Okay, actually, I had one doubt. So
Okay.
I wanted you to share your ICBC West countries experience. How the people were there, and did you practice anything other than your usual routine of practice? And uh, I just want you to share that after exploring all those people who are most of the are mathematician or very good at programming. So after meeting all those people, what did you learn from them?
Okay. So the thing is, the first time I went to ICPC, my aim was just to have fun. Second time we went there, I was like, I want to get to Asia West finals anyhow. So we did that this last year. In third year, we got to Asia West finals. And the thing is, before, because it was at such a odd time, we didn't practice that much. We were just like, okay, bhai, ye to ho gaya. Because world final is very hard. So we were there to have fun. But yes, the competition is very brutal. For people who don't know, you need to be in the top few people in the regionals, which is itself hard to get in. If you are one of the top few teams in India regionals, you get to represent India in the Asia West finals. There are about 60 teams from all over Asia that get to go to Asia West finals, and then the top 15 go to world finals. World finals is like extremely tough. You need to have an extremely good team. It's not a one man army. But to get to Asia West finals, I think you can do it alone. You can do it with a good team as well. My team was pretty good. Like, it was not as good as some other teams out there, but like expert specialist and me. So that was the case. What did we learn? So I met a lot of high-rated competitive programmers. I met that time India number one Mridulahi, who's in 2025 batch. I met one of my friends who I used to talk to online, Jal Patel, and all of that. So the thing is that, like, we didn't get to interact that much, but it does inspire you somewhere, because you always see them just outperforming you in contests here and there, and then they are in front of you, they are talking to you, and in real life people are very chill. You expect people to be extraordinary and not talk and be like Albert Einstein, but that's not the case. People are very normal. They talk about a lot of fun things. They also have their bit of fun, right? Because at the end of the day, we are just college students who just loved programming, so we did it a lot. But we are also college students, so that did inspire me somewhere. Because in regionals, okay, my team was one of the best teams, but in Asia West we were one of the worst teams, and we are not a weak team. Okay, we are a strong team. It's master, expert, specialist. It's not weak. But when you see that, okay, you're one of the dumbest in a room, some people might get discouraged that, oh, it's just sad. For me, it's always my principle that whenever I'm not one of the best, I take it as motivation. I'm like, if these people can do it, I can do it too, right? Because at the end of the day, we are all human. So if someone else can do it, I can do it too. So that actually motivated me to get back to competitive programming as well, because I think it was in March or something like that, ICPC Asia West, like around that time. And I think I started giving contests after getting to Asia West, and then I became master. So it did, I think so. So it did help me, it did motivate me a lot, because like, if you're one of the smartest people in the room, you're in the wrong room. That is actually true, because you get comfortable. So regionals, you're like, oh, we are like good. But then when into Asia, we realized that okay, there's a lot to work on. People are just solving problems that we couldn't solve for 3 hours. So that was really interesting, and I hope to make it to World Finals this year, which is not easy. My intern is ending in August, and then I think it'll be in November or December, like regionals. I think so. There is not much time left. That is there. So yeah, Asia West was really interesting. It's not. I don't want to break people's dreams. Like everyone wants to get to Asia West finals, but Asia West finals organization is pathetic. Like in regionals, you get a T-shirt. In Asia West finals, they were like, the T-shirt you got in regionals, bring that and wear that. We won't give you a T-shirt. There were no balloons also. Okay, there are no balloons, and in regionals, okay, they will give you a place to stay and all of that. In Asia West finals, it was like a 10 by 10 room, which is like very old. There is a small Godrej cupboard which is locked, and there is a small fan. Okay, there is this small fan which is on top, and in the bottom there are like three mattresses that are put there, very bad gadda that are put there, and they're like sleep. There were so many mosquitoes, like they just didn't care. It was not up to the level. That is why we are doing something known as code and code to actually put up really high quality competitions. But yes, the people were amazing. Organization was not, but people, yes, very amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, there it's like how to keep ourselves motivated for CP, because sometimes what happens is I couldn't even solve such a question which is easy. Yeah. Okay. So when I got to 3 star, I was about to leave competitive programming. And then my friends were like, "No, you got to 3 star relatively easily. It's not easy to get to 3 star. You should do competitive programming." So one thing is you can have a community of people around you. I think that is what you guys are doing majorly, which is good. You are hosting such events and all of that. Try to have a group of friends which do competitive programming with you. I didn't have in my college, but I am active on Discord where everyone does competitive programming. There are few servers. There is Eric Toe's server, and I will give you one more insight. There is a server on Discord known as Advanced Corner, where the best of the best competitive programmers are there. The only thing is that to get access to that server, you need to be greater than equal to candidate master. Okay, like Geothermal, Tourist, Jiangli, all these people are there on that server. Even Amnik is there on that server. So you can take this up as motivation that you can get to candidate master, and then you'll get access to that Discord server. I highest, I think highest rating. I think so. Highest. I'm not sure highest or current rating, but I think if you're candidate master, because when I was candidate master, I applied and I got in. Like it's a bot, right? You can get in the server, but to get access to everything else, you need to uh, verify yourself. So I think I think so. Being all time high candidate master should be fine. Not sure, but I think it should be fine. And by the talks of it, it seems like you were candidate master. You are candidate master. So congratulations on that. So people watching, you should probably contact Jai. Think he's good in competitive programming. Saurav says to keep ourselves motivated. Yeah, yeah, same. I've answered this right. Just believe in yourself. I think that is very important. Like we talk about practice and all of that, but one thing that matters more is believing in yourself. Uh, there is this advice that I was given. It was by now India number 3 ever rule. His name is Aditya Jain. So he told when I was expert, I wanted to get to candidate master. I was like, how to get to candidate master? And he told me to become candidate master, the first step is you need to believe you can become a candidate master. So I was like, what are you saying? It doesn't make sense. But then I do kind of understand why. Because once you believe in yourself that you deserve something and you are made for it, you eventually make it through. So one thing is you can be like, hey, I'm built to be grandmaster, and you can work towards that. Have that confidence in yourself, not overconfidence, but have that confidence that yes, I know I can make it, I have the caliber, then you'll eventually be able to.
Do we have more doubts or should we just move towards the end? If anyone has doubt, just raise your hand and just speak. Okay, I think we will just, okay, we have a doubt.
Mentioned about some sheet. Yeah, let me just share that. Okay, Sweet University sheet. Yeah, I think this should be best for beginners. You're starting out Codeforces, you don't know recursion, you don't know mathematics. It's a sheet for everything. There are 26 problems. You can just go to the sheet, log in, and there are sheets, and in bracket there'll be what topic it is on. So recursion for people who want to get good at recursion. For people who want to get it good at math, there is a math sheet. For people who want to get at strings, not string algorithms, just strings, the string sheet as well, and it's prepared by a candidate master, so it's really good quality. Like, I practiced recursion through that when I was weak in recursion. Like, it's good. Yes.
One doubt from my side. So, currently I am in second year. So, can you share a roadmap for the complete journey?
Okay, any more questions, guys?
Shrishti had one question. Repeat.
So, currently I am in second year. So, can you
I'm not
share a
able to
road?
hear you guys once. Yeah, can you say something
So, currently I am in second year. So, can you share the roadmap for the journey?
for competitive programming?
Sorry.
Do you mean for competitive programming or in general?
In both ways, you can answer.
Okay, so if you are in second year of your college, there are basically three things that you might be interested in. One is competitive programming, second is development, third is AIML. AIML I cannot help you, but dev and competitive programming I surely can. Uh, if you want, so the thing is, okay, you want to do things as a hobby, but eventually you guys also want to land a job. I just disconnected my headphones, so my audio might be bad right now. So the thing is, you want to build an exceptional profile, because that is how you'll end up getting a job, right? Like, you're doing it for a hobby, but you also want to get good at it, because if you're just doing it blatantly, there's no point, even as a hobby and even as skill for your job. So for competitive programming, if you're doing competitive programming, aim to become candidate master. That is when you will start actually feeling that placement drives and everything become easy. So if you're aiming for candidate master or something like that, it's not easy. I would suggest you can start from HackerRank if you're starting at programming. Okay, if you're like zero at programming right now, learn C++. Go to hackerrank.com/algorithms. Get to 5-star on HackerRank. Okay, after getting to 5-star on HackerRank, start giving contests on Codeforces.com. Every time you are not able to solve a problem, let's say you solve div to A, div to B, you are not able to solve div to C. After the contest, reach out to people like Harshvardhan or Jai and be like, I couldn't solve C. How do I do that? So they'll tell you. If there is no one in your college helping out, TLE Eliminators has post contest discussions for free, which is hosted on YouTube. You can look at the solution there as well. So upsolving you have done. Now you have to also learn topics. For topics, I just shared a list of websites, right? Proquad.fun, CSES.fi, Computer Programmers Handbook, Sports Programming, Codeforces Catalog. Just refer to all of these resources, and I think that should be fine. And have a good peer group. I think regardless if you want to do development or competitive programming, you should have a good peer group. Now, for getting good at development, how can you make your profile stand out as a good developer? One is Google Summer of Code. Try to get into that program. Okay, aim that okay, this year I want to grind my dev so much that next year in 2025 when Google Summer of Code comes in, I should be able to grind it. I'm aiming for that as well. Let's see if I can make through. Like, let's see. I want to do competitive programming as well, so it's not that easy. So aim for Google Summer of Code. Go to a lot of hackathons. Try to explore and have fun in hackathons. I think one of the things that is missing in competitive programming, and that is there in development, is the presence of a lot of hackathons that you can go to, interact with people, build a lot of things. For dev, I would say you can learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can just breeze through any course, not spend a lot of time, like understand the fundamentals, how it works. Then you can go over and learn what the Merge stack is, how React works, how MongoDB works, what other databases are there. Since you're in second year of college, you will most likely go through database courses and all of that. If you're in computer science, like database management, all of that. So through that, you can learn SQL, you can then learn MongoDB, you can learn what other databases are, what the trade-offs are. Try to build good projects. Okay, don't try to build clones, that's useless. See a problem in your real life that you actually want to solve. Let's say like we wanted to track our expenses, right? So we build our app called Cash Kaka. So similarly, you could have something small like I want to log my daily tasks and I want to build a website for it. So you can build a website for yourself, not for the project, but you can build it for yourself. You're like, okay, I want this feature. I want a login. I want to track what can be done and so on and so forth. And then you can go about building this. So this will help you get better as compared to tutorial help. Don't refer to tutorial. It doesn't teach you anything. You'll teach by reading documentation and building projects. That's always thumb rule. Okay. After that, you've built some projects. Now implement it. Try to get into the system design of it. What is the best way to implement it as well? Try to document your code. So if you do all of this, you should have really good projects. You should be really good in development, and at the end, when you want to show people that I'm really good at it, give me a job, it won't be an issue. Just try to stand out, because standing out in development is much harder than standing out in competitive programming. Because in competitive programming, you're 5 star, you're expert, people will be like, this guy is good. But in development, that's not the case, because there are hackathons everywhere. So every other profile, one in every 10 profiles will have some hackathon win. Okay. And so you need to go to do really good stuff. You need to get into this MLH thing. You can aim for GSOC. Then there are more open source programs like Kharagpur Winter of Code, KWOC, and all of that. So contribute to that, do open source, and make some name for yourself. I think these are the things that you can do if you're in second year of college, and enjoy.
Thank you.
Sir, I have one doubt. Like in perspective of getting the opportunities from the industry, like getting internship or jobs. So, is DSA more important than CP, or CP is more important? Because as I ask the peoples, many people says that if you are not a CP guy or you don't know that much about CP, but you should know about DSA, because there are direct DSA rounds in the interviews. So, is DSA more important than competitive programming?
Okay, so it's like two, like if you're good at competitive programming, you're good at DSL. It's not two different things. It's like if this is DSA, then this is competitive programming. Okay, it's like a subset. So I will tell you for placements what is the scene right now. Uh, if you're applying off campus, not Google but any other company, the first thing that you will go come across is an online assessment round. This is unless you're good at competitive programming, it's really hard to crack these rounds. Like uh, even if you look at some small companies right now, they're asking really tough questions. So for that, knowledge of competitive programming is necessary. Like you need to have that experience of doing competitive programming. You should have been like specialist, expert, all of that. around that to comfortably solve these problems. But yes, in the interview, they won't ask you segment trees and all of that. They are going to ask you just standard hard questions around lead code, like lead code medium, hard problems. So for the interviews, yes, you don't need to do competitive programming to crack the interview. But to get to the interview, you, because it's India, right? If this was US or something, it is a different scene. But every year, lakhs of programmers are graduating, and there are only few thousand jobs. So you need something to filter out candidates, and that is what online assessments or competitive programming tests are. So don't be like, "Uh, just because I can crack interview, I won't do competitive programming." But morely, like, I'll tell you one thing, okay? I never formally did DSA. Like, I didn't do Striver Sheet or I didn't do Lead Code. I just did Codeforces.com throughout my life, like throughout my college life. Okay. And before my Google interview, I was like, okay, like I'm not practicing anything as such. So if you do competitive programming, that is one of the advantages. You get really good at data structures and algorithms, like really, really good. So that is one of the paths that you can consider. If you don't want to do DSA and CP separately, you can do CP throughout, give your 100%, and I'm sure you will not struggle in DSA.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. If anybody have any doubt, then can raise the hand.
I guess Gaurish sir has explained every domain of the questions and doubts. So let's move ahead to the vote of thanks. Yes, Shrishti.
So for the vote of thanks, I will request our mentor, Jai Shirgupe sir, to give a vote of thanks.
Uh, Hello everyone. Hi Gaurish. So on behalf of everyone here, I extend our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Gaurish Baliga for today's insightful session. Your guidance on improving coding skills and your valuable insight into competitive programming have been incredibly useful. And we are especially grateful for the doubt solving session. Your expertise and clear explanation made this session very interactive and also engaging. Thank you once again, and also best of luck for your future journey. And hope to see you at ICPC.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, guys, and keep solving and keep working hard. I think regardless of which domain you are in, one of the things that unites everyone is your will to learn and the grit to not give up when things are hard. So keep doing that, and I hope you guys get to places, and hopefully we'll see more competitive programmers and probably you in this session someday. Probably you are called here, and each of me you will be there. So keep working hard, and see you guys soon in ICPC.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, bye bye.
Bye, sir.